So hi, I'm Bruce King. Today it's a family affair. My wife is on the iPhone filming this, and my father-in-law Charles Lowry is helping me. So finally the machine to adjust the fuel injectors has arrived. So we're going to go through this step by step to show people how we're calibrating this. First thing is each injector is specific for each individual motor that they have. So for the Ford 9700, we have a gauge here that says it should be between 2720 and 2794. So 2750 is a good number. Well, on this gauge, it falls in right at this black mark because 27 and 2800, and this is right in the middle, so 2750 is right here. So we know it's 1 point less than 20. In the reservoir, we have automatic transmission fluid, which is good for running this test, and it's non-explosive and safe and all that kind of good stuff. So the first thing we do is out of the Ziploc bag, this is the number 3 injector. So what I'm doing simply is I'm making sure, because I've already cleaned this guy, is I'm just making sure that the top here is on good and tight. And it is. Okay, so the next thing we do is we take off the protective cap. And this, in fact, is the adjuster. It adjusts the tension spring that when the pressure gets to a certain point, in this case 2750, it'll release the spray from the nozzle. And if it's too high, we would screw it in. If it's too low, then we screw it out. So it's just, sorry, the other way around. Yes, if it's too high, we screw it out. If it's too low, we screw it back in. So what we're doing now is we're closing this valve, okay, and then we're attaching the injector to the gauge. Okay, and now what's going to happen is Pop's going to go ahead and pump this handle, and when it hits a certain pressure, these guys will spurt out. Whoop.
It hadn't started any pressure yet.
Okay, so we have no pressure, so what we need to do is we need to screw it in, which compresses the spring, which gets pressure on it.
That's too much.
Okay, so now we do the opposite. Unscrew it a little bit. Okay. Yep.
That's too much.
Okay. Yep. Yep.
Almost right.
Yep.
Needs a little bit tightening.
Yep. Yep.
That's right.
Okay. Now you'll want to come over here and see the streams coming out of the injector. So come over on this side.
What's it supposed to go to?
1 point under 20.
Okay.
Okay, so why don't you come over here and they'll show the spray. Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead, Pop. So you can see the spray coming out of the little holes. Okay. So this guy's adjusted. That's it. By the way, just in case anybody was wondering, yeah, I took this off and I got all the automatic transmission fluid out of there, so this guy's not dry when I put him in. So when we put diesel fuel in, it won't be pushing out automatic transmission fluid before it gets into the engine. Here's the little trick I just discovered to find out whether these holes are blocked or not. If you shine a light, you can see the light coming through that hole. See it through that hole, so you can tell if the holes are blocked just by seeing the light coming through. There you go. So all 4 of these holes are unblocked, so we definitely have confirmation that the injector is going to be clean and work well. So one of the encounters I had was that the cylinder was not as clean as I would like it to be, and so putting injectors back in was a little bit difficult. So what I did was I cleaned the injector and then I put a little bit of oil on here and I worked it as I went in and up and down, kind of scraped the sides a little bit, and as you can see I was able to pull off a bunch more dirt. And so what I do before I put this injector in is, of course, I'll clean it with carburetor cleaner so that I can get whatever dirt that I pulled in out. I'll take a little bit of oil and put that all around the injector. And then some people find it hard to keep this little ring on as you're putting the injector in. So there's a little trick that I'm sure all the old mechanics know, is you put a little bit of grease on here. So just take a little dab of grease, put it on here, and turn it around a little bit, and there it is, it sticks. So when you put your injector in, see how well that's slid in. The other thing that happens is that that ring goes down where it's supposed to so that it seats properly, and then of course you can just put your bolts in. We're going to put our rubber lines in, but before I do that I'm going to go ahead and tighten all of the bolts up here now that everything is seated properly.